Emoji if you're happy that it is Friday, okay? You pour your cocktail, let's get ready because we got so much to talk about. But before we get started, I need to introduce y'all to this fine gentleman here tonight. He is none other than Mr. Steven. Mr. Steven is our special guest for tonight. He's a certified strength and conditioning coach. He's also a life coach. And on a daily basis, he runs a fitness and wellness program right at a local university in Philly. Shout out to Philly. Y'all come in the building. He will tell you more about all the things that he has going on a little later, but I want to tell you a fun fact about Mr. Steven. He is writing a book, and the book is on how people are trash and how people can be less trashy. I thought that was so catchy, right? Because I could see that going in so many different directions. So I cannot wait for the actual book to be released. I will be first in line to read it. Y'all, tonight's concoction is none other than boot camp. Mr. Steven, you got your concoction? Boot camp. Cheers. All right. Steven, thank you so much for being here. I'll take out time to just kick back with the girl and see what she's talking about. But this week, we're going all the way in, right? Because we talked about relationship stuff and, same-sex things that happen and preferences. And, we've had so many topics. But yet have I really dug deep into fitness and wellness. And that is really paramount for me in particular, because I'm like, okay, I have this platform, but there are not many of me who sustain for a long period of time. And when I say many like me, I'm talking about plus size women. And so I've wrestled with, if I can be fully transparent, I've wrestled with, how far will it go? And I know that, I just need to make some changes and be a little more disciplined, and we'll get into that as well. But I know that I'm not the only one that feels this way. You want to change yourself and work on yourself. And it's a lifetime really commitment in my view. So especially with the pandemic, y'all, we done had COVID-19, 30, 20, 40 pounds packed on us. And now it's time to pull back and slide away from the table and become that whole snack you want to become. And I thought that it was so appropriate to have Steven on tonight to just, help navigate through that. And so we can become our best healthy, fit selves. Okay, so let's talk about it. Steven, are you ready?
I am. Thank you for having me. I am. You have such great energy, and so beautiful soul, beautiful spirit. So I am happy to come on the platform and talk about fitness and wellness. And so my practice is founded in a holistic approach to wellness, as well as a psychodynamic approach. So I look at how the intersectional nature of our lived experience and how that affects our wellness. And intersectional meaning that our culture, our politics, our faith, our work, our circle, how all these things affect how we respond to fitness and wellness and what that means for us on a day-to-day basis. So often, especially people of color, our lived experience doesn't allow us the opportunity to be exposed to fitness and wellness outside of athletics. And even in athletics, we aren't educated properly on how to take care of ourselves. One of the things I think that, especially in urban cities like Philadelphia and Baltimore, they're food deserts, and there's a lack of informational resources when it comes to fitness and wellness. And historically, fitness and wellness has not been for us. We got our fitness and wellness from work in the fields and from toiling in the factories and, building America. So, it's kind of ingrained in us. But now that we are actually able to utilize our minds a little bit more and, really engage in that entrepreneurial spirit, which is the American dream, we can actually take time to improve our lives through fitness and wellness. And so, I got into fitness and wellness. My parents are pretty fit. My mom ran track in high school and college. My dad, he was in the military, and so there was a running joke in our family, like they don't have fat kids, and not in the sense of like to fat shame anyone, but in the sense that being overweight was not acceptable when you came up in a household that focused on nutrition and movement and discipline and structure. And so, I will say that there was probably some body dysmorphia that was a result of that, as well as being a Black male athlete, you are expected to perform. And then also being a Black male athlete, we're hypersexualized. So, there's an expectation to perform and look like you perform. And so, I got into athletics very early on, martial arts, boxing, running track. I did it in high school, college. I had a few bumps and bruises along the way, a couple of injuries, but once I graduated from undergrad, I did some research. I worked in ocular degeneration, which is pretty much like cancer research. And I worked in a neuroscience lab. And so I realized that clinical research was not the space that I wanted to be in. I worked a couple odd jobs and some research opportunities in corporate wellness. And then one day one of my staffers called out, and we needed someone to teach a cycling class. And I'm a Leo, and all Leos like to be the center of attention. So I got up there on the stage, I taught the class, and I've been in love with it ever since. And so for me, exercise initially started out, I'm be honest, out of vanity. Like I like the way that I look. I worked really hard at my body, and I like the attention that it got me. And so,
all right. That's good. Listen, so what are some tips that you can give someone who does not come from that, background that you've had, and even the training and stuff that you've had, to really mentally motivate them to get up and work out? What are some tips that we can give?
I think the first thing that you have to do is you have to set a goal, and something that's realistic. The whole point of actually attaining your goals starts with the expectation of what's realistic for you. Like if you say, I'm going to start, you're deconditioned and you don't have a background in fitness, and this is something that's new to you. You can't say that I'm gonna just jump into the gym 5 days a week and I'm just gonna start dieting. You have to ease into it. And so I tell people to set small goals, getting up and moving 20 minutes in the morning, finding a movement platform that you actually enjoy. I find that a lot of people just like to dance. So I encourage people to dance 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes before bed. And the idea is to get at least 150 minutes a week of moderate exercise. And that's pretty much it.
Oh, wow. So you said set realistic goals. So if I say, I want to be Beyonce, that's okay. Like, slow your roll. You gotta, come on. Just slow your roll. Because in my head, I'm, but the knees ain't, it ain't cooperating. But I get it. Set realistic goals so that we can, and I like what you said about the 20 minutes in the morning. Because I can think of a whole lot of other shit that I do in the morning for 20 minutes where I could get up and do something.
Okay. Well, you know what? Even to the point of engaging in sex on a regular basis is a form of exercise, and it also has a positive neurological effect on your brain. It creates a homeostatic state for the brain. So essentially, it's like feeding your brain all the good stuff so that you can think faster, you can operate on a better level. So it actually helps with your performance. So that's all exercise is, and sex is a self-pleasure, is a form of that, and I encourage it with my clients. So if that is how you spend your 20 minutes, then
well, let's move on. What would you say to a newbie to prepare for that pre-gym, preparation? Like, how do you get prepared? And then how do you start your clients off who are complete newbies?
So I will say this: I prefer to work with women. So most of my clients are female. Men are dumb, and women listen. And they, first of all, y'all checks clear all the time. And I'm about that paper, so I can appreciate a woman that's on time. And honestly, I think women are more accepting when it comes to receiving information. But what I tell all my clients, male or female, is that set your goals. Rest prior to going to the gym, make sure that you eat, and have proper attire. A lot of times, like, you think about it, if you're going into battle, soldiers, what do? They have to rest, they have to eat, and they have to put on their gear. And so essentially, when you go into the gym, you going in to do battle. You're battling body fat. And that's how I tell my clients, you prepare by put your armor on.
Okay. So women, we need to have very supportive bras.
Yes.
And get ready.
And they have so many, like, athleisure has grown so far.
It has.
They have antimicrobial liners and tights. They have the double lining for waist control. They have the bras that have back support. So all the pain points that women experience, hurt backs because you have large chests, or hurt backs because you got a bigger butt, a lack of control in your core. They have clothes that can help support you and make you feel supported while you're at the gym. I know for me, I had got from an injury prior, I got up to about 250 pounds. And the biggest thing for me was how loose I felt and like how out of control of my body I was. When I started getting into like athleisure and wearing compression, it made me feel in control and it tightened everything up. And the whole
it does. It really, really does. I mean, I can think of some other shit that I wear and everything is jiggling. I'm like, that's disgusting. But you're right. The proper attire will snatch you up and really make you feel secure that, okay, I'm good, I'm tucked in, and I can do this. So, and good posture, yes.
It's like Wonder Woman. She puts her uniform on, clink, clink, she ready to beat ass. And so that's exactly what you have to do when you go to the gym.
Yeah. Okay. Nightlife is reading some of the comments, and she said it makes you feel confident and all of that,
It does.
when you're pulled together. Yes. Okay. So what would you say is the hardest part on a man's body and a woman's body to get into shape?
I think everybody struggles with their core. Mm-hmm. I can say that every man, every woman struggles with their core. And that is primarily because of our lived experience. Based on like how we receive information, external stimuli has an effect on the body. It can produce cortisol, which is a stress hormone that is part of the fight and flight system. It regulates our responses to stressful external stimuli. But when it's underutilized and it just sits in the body, it can be stored in fat pockets in the core. And so for people of color, our fat pocket stores are in our belly, in our hips, and usually in our neck. And so those are the areas that people of color typically struggle with. Men and women, especially people of color, it's going to primarily focus around their core and their legs. The less you stress, the less you have body fat on your body. So it's as simple as controlling how you perceive your external environment and how you receive information.
That's amazing. I've got to work on controlling the stress. Mm-hmm. And then, listen, we ain't gonna make this about me, but
no, but it is about you. This is your platform. This is your
opportunity. But I want the damn shameless to get really, get everything and maximize everything. But what I was going to say is that, a lot of times it don't even be my shit. It's other people's shit that, is on me. And I'm like, and I try to be there, and be supportive for everyone. But then there are days like today where I just had to quiet the noise. I don't want to talk. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. Just don't ask me for shit. Don't say shit. So I guess, I have to find that balance of how to control the stress, because you said, what's the cortisol?
Cortisol.
Cortisol.
Cortisol. Cortisol. Cortisol.
Damn shameless. Come on, y'all. Let's write this down, because I know that's a new term for me. But it it triggers everything for me. They're in the comments. Come on.
Shelly Roscoe wants to know, how can you control your stress?
How do you do that when it's so much going on in the world, one, and then in our lives? And then in our families' lives, it's a lot.
So the way that you control your stress is by you choose what you take on. And so it's a matter of choosing and saying, okay, this is mine and this is not mine. What am I willing to take on? And so one of the euphemisms that I often use when I'm coaching clients is, we're like sponges. You take a dry sponge, you throw it in some water, and it's going to soak up a ton of water. And what happens when you take it out of the water? It's heavy and it's dripping with water. And essentially, when you put yourself into environments of water, you absorb whatever is in that environment and you walk away heavy, and people leave feeling better. And so it's the law of transference, energetic transference. We allow people to give us stress and we hold on to it, and they leave feeling better. People will start an argument with you, and then it ain't even got nothing to do with you, but you walk away and you be like, what? And so what I tell clients is that you have to be like a sponge. You have to wring yourself out, let go of all that stress, and you do have the ability to choose what you take on, especially at work. Prime example, I coach a staff of 50, and it's mixed with students, professors, regular faculty and staff, and they all got their own stuff going on. But how I choose to navigate my experience in that space is I choose what I want to take on and what I don't want to take on. And I gladly tell people, that's not mine. You can keep that to yourself. I don't care. I put a wall up and be like, that's not mine. And it's as simple. And I know it sounds simple, but it really is that simple of making the choice to say, that is not mine, and I'm not taking that on.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to go to this particular therapist, and she would always say, KiKi, no is not negative, be okay with saying no. And so I was like, all right.
No, it's not negative. No is protective. No is a boundary that keeps you from being in a deficit. So often we get caught up in other people's stress, other people's problems, and we're pouring out of emptiness. Yeah. I've read something on Instagram today. I am no longer pouring out of myself unless it's excess. If you don't have extra to give out, then you can't help nobody. So if I don't have extra to give you, you're just going to be SOL.
I love it. No, it's not negative. It's protective. I love that. Yeah. So let me ask you this. is having a healthy lifestyle more about like they say 80% exercise and 20% diet, or 20% diet, 80% exercise? What do you think?
I will say living a healthy lifestyle is 100% vanity. And then the underscore is it's your nutrition. It's what you put in your body. And it's not just nutrition doesn't just mean the food that you take on. There are there's emotional nutrition, there's mental nutrition, there's physical, like actual food that you consume. So it's essentially what we put into our bodies, what we take in to ourselves, what we absorb. Dictates how our bodies respond. And so often we'll eat clean or quote unquote clean, and then we don't see any transition in our bodies. And that's because your mental and your emotional and your spiritual nutrition is completely off. So if you started to recalibrate how you see yourself and what you consume, that dictates how you perform and how your body responds to exercise.
Like, I want to be in church like, yes, Lord. Amen. Like, that is so me. You are talking to me. Is he talking to you, lifestyle, nightlife? How about producer lady? He talking to you? I mean, so valuable. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's what it is. And I know that we have to make a conscious decision that if we want to live, we got to do these things. We have to set those boundaries and protect ourselves, and you know, have a little vanity. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Vanity is more than just the idea that, oh, I want to look good. It's actually it's a means of pride and self-worth. Like, the more that you value yourself, your worth increases, and people only see what you see. Yeah. If you see yourself at 100% and you see yourself as $100 bill, other people are going to value you as such. People only value you based on how you value yourself. So if I see myself as less than, they're going to see myself as less than, and then they're going to feel that they can take advantage of me. But if I feel better about myself, I love myself a little bit more, I edify myself a little bit more, people are less inclined to take advantage of me because they know they can't afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a damn shame. Is what it is.
You have to be expensive. Like, you got to be expensive.
Yeah. What do you think about this whole intermittent fasting and, you know, the smoothie diets and Weight Watchers and keto? What are your thoughts around those?
Jana and I always have this conversation around diet culture. I say that give your body what it needs. So I often crave ice cream. I don't eat it every day, but I when I feel a craving coming on, it's probably because my body is eliciting a response to something that I need, whether it's dairy, whether it's sugar, whether it's carbohydrates. Listen to your body. So if your body is saying you want pasta, eat pasta, because you're probably at a caloric deficit, or either your body is at a vitamin deficit. So your body will tell you what you need. What I tell clients is that you need a healthy, well-balanced diet, which consists of protein. It does not have to be from a meat source, but you need protein, you need carbohydrates, you need positive fats. Positive fats are we in the science realm call them polyunsaturated fats. So they're fats that are liquid at room temperature. So like coconut oil, most plant-based oils are going to be, you know, your friend. We want to kind of stay away from animal-based fats because they essentially, when they congeal at room temperature, they do the same thing in your body. And so we want things that are easily digestible, that don't make the body work overtime to digest. But I tell people that experiment, explore, figure out what works for your body. Anything that is going to put you at a calorie deficit is not your friend. Anything that is depriving you of one specific type of food group or one specific type of macronutrient, it is probably not a good idea. God created everything on earth, and everything is good, and therefore you can eat anything. But that does not mean that it's good for your body. So the exploration of different foods and different food types and eating pathologies is going to be to your benefit. So I tell people to explore. But essentially, you need to know your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, which is like the calories that you need to consume just for brain function, just to run your body. Once you find that, then you can find your caloric intake based on your goals. We come back to that main point of goal setting. You have to come back to your goals and figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish, how much weight you're trying to lose, how much muscle you're trying to build, and that dictates your caloric intake on a daily basis. So it's not so much don't get into diet culture, because it's going to be a new diet tomorrow.
Yeah. Some
skinny white woman is going to be telling you to eat this, and it's not even relevant to your culture. It's not even relevant to your lived experience. So you have to, I always tell people, go to people who have a similar lived experience. They have gone through what you are about to go through. That way you have someone who has wisdom, someone who has knowledge and has experience. So that way you can navigate it effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you say to the more experienced fitness and wellness person? Like, what would you tell them to help them get to the next level? Because I mean, we all want to go to the next level.
Typically, when you're trying to get to the next level, it's usually a mental block. It's always something metaphysical that's keeping you from getting to your next step, because it's not the exercise. Nothing about the exercise has changed. You can always increase your repetitions. You can increase your weight. That's the easy part. It's the mental block, the emotional block that keeps you from your goals. And usually putting yourself in an environment with people that are better than you, that know more than you, that's going to push you.
Tell me this, what should go first? Cardio and then strength, or strength and then cardio? Or does it not really matter?
It depends on your goals. If you are trying to, no, it doesn't really matter. I think it's
trying to lose weight, period.
Strength training.
Strength over cardio?
Mm-hmm. Because strength is going to tax your metabolic system, and that's what burns body fat. Cardio does nothing. Cardio is only going to increase your respiratory system and your cardiovascular system. Strength training is going to tax your muscles. It's going to tax your hormone system. It's going to tax your neuromuscular junction. So it's going to work everything in the body, and you'll spend less time working out if you focus on strength training than you do cardio. You'll spend hours doing cardio and you'll lose 1/10 of the weight that you want to lose than if you spent a half an hour doing strength training. You'll burn that body fat like that.
Wow. And I know women tend to be like, well, I don't want to lift all them weights. I'm not trying to be bulky and this. And I'm like, bitch, listen, you got a lot of layers to get through to be bulky, okay? Well, you're already bulky.
The way that I get my clients to think about strength training is that muscles are sexy. It's something really sexy about a woman who understands her power and understands how her body moves.
Yeah.
And it's something sexy about it's when a woman is in full, complete awareness of her strength physically. It is nothing more confident. And so typically once I turn that pimp charm on, it's they like, all right, let's get this, let's load the weight up.
Yes.
Actually, you'll lose weight faster with strength training.
Wow. So is it go for the heaviest weight and then take off, or build up?
It depends on where you're currently at. Diversity in training is paramount. Your muscle, your cells are like little brains, and when you put weight on them, they have to learn how to deal with the weight. And so it's an adjustment period. But if you do the same thing over and over and over again, your those little brains are going to get accustomed to it. They're going to learn that exercise. So you have to constantly change it up. So what I tell people is, based on your conditioning level, you start at the bottom, start with a weight that you can control, and then you build your confidence in your movement, and then you add your weight.
Mm-hmm. So you talked in one of your lives about giving yourself moving and working with grace, working out with grace. Talk a little bit about that.
When I say move with grace, it's primarily about being kinder to yourself. We set these ridiculous expectations of ourselves on how we should move and how much, and we set an expectation about how much weight we should lose in a certain allotted amount of time. But I tell people, be kind to yourself. You're going to have days when you don't feel like working out. Your kids is going to be stressing you out. Your man going to be stressing you out. Women, you're going to be on your menstrual, and you're just not going to feel like doing anything. And so often, if we miss a day, we berate ourselves for missing that day, as opposed to saying, you know what, I needed some time off. And your body actually does better. It responds to exercise when you take time to rest.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say is some top myths about when it comes to fitness and wellness that we need to know about, especially for Black people?
Waist trainers work. Now, this is okay. So this is a source of contention with my mother. I admit that there are benefits to waist training. I do not think that waist training is the end all to be all. I think proper breath work and core activation and exercise is the best way to sustainable wellness. The problem with waist trainers, if they are not utilized in the proper way, they can really affect your digestive system, and they can add stress to your internal organs. And so my main concern is the misinformation. I'm not saying that waist trainers are bad. I'm just saying the misinformation about waist trainers and how to properly utilize them is so rampant in the fitness industry that we really need to be careful of the information that we consume. If you're going to wear a waist trainer, there's a certain amount of time that you should wear them. There is other training methodologies outside of the waist training, how long you wear it, when you wear it, don't wear it when you're eating. So it's like it's the misinformation for me that is the biggest myth around waist trainers. Diet pills work. They don't. There's a bunch of, so in Philadelphia,
they don't.
Diet pills are a placebo. They make you think that you're doing something, but you're really not doing anything. And all you're doing is you're creating a codependency on drugs. And the idea is that we have to really do the mental work and build the self-discipline for sustainable long-term wellness.
Wow. What about all these teas and stuff? I got a shitload of teas that will have you dropping shitloads of tea.
So all you're doing, okay, so you do the tea, the flat tummy tea. All it's going to do is it's probably a diuretic, which is going to make you urinate. It probably has caffeine in it, which is going to increase your energy level. So it's going to make you feel really good, and you're going to feel active. And all it's going to do is make you poop. So a lot of times it's a placebo effect. It's saying, okay, well, I feel more energized. I'm dropping weight, but you're probably just shedding water weight and bio waste. But your body is not changing. So it's exercise, mentality, and discipline, which really make the effect on your body.
What about colonics?
I can't speak on that because I don't, that's not something that I advertise, and that's not my space. So I don't know. I don't talk about anything that I don't know. I had to do some research on it, and then I can get back to you. Okay.
Damn shame is in the comments.
KDM says, Stephen, if I take a day off, that one day turns into 2 days off, then 3 days off.
Okay. So what I typically tell clients is, in giving yourself grace, set a time limit of how much grace you're going to give yourself. You don't have the option to take more than the allotted time that you need. And don't let yourself fall into the rabbit hole. And I know it's easier said than done, but it really is a mental exercise of saying, you know what, I'm going to get up and do something. It doesn't have to be actually going to the gym, but like I said, it's 20 minutes of movement. If you lay in the bed and you stretch, if you just get up and touch your toes, do a couple of jumping jacks. The idea is that we condition ourselves to moving, because when you stop moving, that's when you die. So the more time that you're giving yourself off is you're working yourself to an earlier grave.
Wow. That's so very true. And you know, some days I feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do anything. But then when I get up to go do something, everything is stiff, and it'd be a damn shame. It is, especially when you're 46. Like, you know, God, I just feel like, oh my goodness. Tell me this. I hear that sometimes a 30-minute workout can give you more intensity than an hour-long workout. Can you explain that concept?
Okay, I can compare it to this. 30 minutes of good sex is better than 60 minutes of sex, right?
Right.
Same thing with your workout. It's about intention. It's intention, skill, strategy. Like it's preparation. If you prepare, if you go into the gym with a plan and you execute and you say, let's say, you know, we're going to do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and I'm going to do 10 exercises, and I just repeat for 30 minutes. When you go in with a plan and you execute, that is always going to be better than just fuddling around and hopping on different pieces of equipment because we think they're going to work. No, you go in, you figure out what it is that you want to work on, and you stick to it. And that is more effective than just trying to hit everything. And, you know, it's very careless, in my opinion, to just go in and just be in there for an hour. You can get an effective workout. I run in the morning because it is cathartic for me, and it is to keep me from killing people. It does. It keeps me from killing people.
I love it.
It keeps me from being an angry Black man.
Yeah.
And then I will do intentional movement for up at the max 45 minutes. Now, if I'm working through something, so movement is I consider exercise a form of worship, and it's how I communicate with God. And so when I'm trying to work through something and I'm trying to deal with stress and anxiety, I will have a longer session, but it's just the movement that is a way to exorcise my negative emotion or my demons. But typically, if I'm in a good mood, I work no more than 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes on a daily basis. And like I said, 150 minutes a week. So that's 30 minutes Monday through Friday. That's 150 minutes. That is an effective way to burn body fat and to keep it off. And so you actually increase your stamina without overloading your neural system. So sometimes working out too much can burn your body out. And so you feel like, you're like, oh, my body hurts so bad. It's because you've reached your fatigue threshold. You've done too much. So do less.
I have some girlfriends that will say, girl, I worked out today and shit, I'm tired. I need a nap after it. And I'm like, well, ain't that the opposite of what it's supposed to do? It's supposed to energize you. What's the deal with that?
Well, so everybody's body is different. So we have this thing called our circadian system, which is our sleep-wake cycle, and it's an ebb and flow of energy throughout the day. So you have to figure out when your optimal exercise time is, so that way you're not overloading your body, you're not overloading your brain. So my time to work out is first thing in the morning. I wake up, I pray, I go run, I do some yoga, I lift some weights, and then I'm done. I can't work out after like 12 o'clock. I'm gonna be a complete psycho, and it's gonna stress me out, and I'm probably wind up strangling somebody. So I have to get it done in the morning. But I'm also an early riser. So you just have to figure out when's the best time for you. If you are finding that you're exercising if you're finding that you need a nap after you've exercised, it's probably because you're in a caloric deficit and your blood sugar is low. So that means you need to eat. So especially if you're doing strength training, you need to eat no less than an hour after you work out, and you need to get your carbohydrate and protein macros in. Your macronutrients are like the big technical food groups. So protein, fats, carbohydrates. When you get a little bit more educated, you do a little bit more research, you understand your micronutrients, which are like your multivitamins and the things that really support cellular support. So like for women, vitamin D is a major benefit for immunity, for bone density, for cognition, for long-term wellness. Vitamin D is like a super vitamin that we don't get enough of, especially women, because of your menstrual. You have to make sure that you're getting the proper micronutrients into your system to replenish your body, because those bodies are wonderful and honorable. And we don't educate women enough on how to take care of your bodies, because y'all go through so much. Fitness and wellness is such a male-centered genre. We don't do enough for edifying women and educating women about their wellness, and so much more research needs to be done in it. So, my biggest thing is make sure you get the right things into your body.
So, I started chuckling because it just came to mind. I used to date this guy, and he used to eat a Snickers bar before going into the gym. And I said, this nigga is all the way crazy. Like, why are you eating this thing? No, I got to stop and go get a Snickers bar before I go in the gym and work out. And mind you, he was fit. And I said, well, maybe he could stay into it. I just said, what should we be eating prior to going into the gym?
So that's an old school, like, heavy lifting trick. So like, when I used to
old.
One of the things that I used to eat that, depending on like the type of workout that I'm doing, I love Pop-Tarts. So Pop-Tarts are packed full of carbohydrates, sugar, and a good amount of protein, actually. And that's what all powerlifters eat before they go into a competition, because it's packed full of like the micronutrients that you need. Now, that is not like a reasonable food source to be eating on a regular basis.
Right.
What I tell people is that when you eat, you're not eating for today, you're eating for tomorrow's performance. So the dinner that you eat is the food that's going to fuel your workout tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So if you think about it, like if I'm like tonight, I'll have salmon, and then I'll have a spinach fruit salad. And that's going to fuel my workout for tomorrow morning. But also coupling that with a good amount of rest. So 7 to 8 hours of rest with a good meal is going to fuel my body for my workout.
Wow. 7 to 8 hours.
And it's not a lot of time. Like if you got off your phone, not you, but just we as people got off our phones a little bit more, and we settled down and we minded our business. If you mind your business, you will have so much more time in your day. It's a joke that John and I have. We like, did you mind your business today? I did mind my business today, and I was so productive. So if you mind your business a little bit more, social media is nothing but minding somebody else's business. If you mind your business a little bit more, you'll have time for your own business. Therefore, you can devote more sleep, more time to sleep. 7 hours is the minimum. And we actually talked about this the other day, to reduce brain fog and emotional dysregulation. If you notice, when you get less sleep, you're crankier, you're moody.
Is it 7 hours uninterrupted sleep?
What you mean?
No, I get up, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then at that time I'm looking at the phone.
Okay.
And,
some interrupted sleep is worth it. It depends on what the why you're being interrupted. Okay. But yes, we would, as a fitness professional, we do advise that you have 7 uninterrupted hours of sleep at minimum.
Okay. I'm gonna try.
And no try, we do.
We do. We don't try. We do. Okay. Shifting the mind. You have to shift the mind, because one of my questions was, is there a direct connection with your emotional, mental, and physical health? And as we hear, and everything that you've said is tied, all of it is tied together in order for us to be successful.
Yeah, like we forget that we're emotional creatures, and especially we were talking about this today. Um Society tells us that being emotional is wrong. But we're not just physical bodies. We're soul, we're spirit, and when you don't acknowledge that, you deny a part of yourself, and that's unhealthy. So how you think about yourself and how you think about your emotions and your lived experience, your emotional body is going to dictate how you respond to exercise and wellness. So
Mm.
yeah, you have to do it.
All right, let's take it up a notch.
Okay.
Does working out help you control when you have an orgasm? Like, do you develop this women, well, men, can y'all hold it a little longer if, your stamina in the gym is good? Or women, can y'all, control it better if you physically fit? I mean, let's talk
Well,
about it.
you think about it this. So my uncle Earl, he told me this very long ago. He said, the more squats you do, it helps you to control your orgasm, which it actually does. So you figure both men and women do Kegels. So a man's prostate is activated by squeezing his pelvic muscles. So the more that you can contract those pelvic muscles, you can control your orgasm a little bit. You can control it better. And the same thing with women. Exercise has shown that for women, it helps with maintaining pelvic floor health. Working your core helps to maintain pelvic floor health so it stays nice and tight. And then exercising on a regular basis, having a normal regulation of your hormonal cascade is going to allow your body to respond to arousal more effectively. So you can get an orgasm a lot faster, and you can control it. So exercise has a benefit neurocognitively for in the state of arousal.
Ow, I'm getting ready to 20 minutes every morning, 30 minutes, and these orgasms gonna be pow, 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 pow. Yes, I cannot wait.
My mother says that you have to exercise to keep that ushy gushy.
Yes. Tell Earl I'm about to start squatting tonight. Okay, is he single? So listen, here's another question.
Mm-hmm.
How can you explain I guess you kind of answered that. I was going to say your sexual libido, but yeah, it improves when you exercise more, right?
Everybody's sexual libido responds differently to exercise. I think that typically I think we confuse libido with energy. So a lot of times your sexual desire doesn't always correlate with your just higher energy levels. So we assume like, oh, I feel better, I feel like more energized, I could do more, so that means I should just go and have more sex. That's not the same thing as libido. Your libido is based on your mental emotional state and how it connects to how your mental emotional state connects to your sex organs. So actually, if you have a better emotional state, you're going to have a better libido because your libido is tied to how you feel rather than just your physiology. Because you got some people that have really good bodies and they libido be whack.
And that's a damn shame.
That is a damn shame.
Wow, that's interesting. I tell you, there's so many benefits to this. Tell me this. It's said that, a man, the more weight he loses, he gains in inches of his penis. Is this true?
No, that is not true.
What?
No, that is not true. So all that happens is that it's just more visible. It's less fat. That's it. Once your penis stops growing around, for most men, it stops growing around the age of 21. That is like like typically your full physiological maturation. Most men don't grow beyond that. Even late bloomers, like they're maybe 25, but most men are around 21. Now, when a man loses weight, all that happens is that he loses fat in his pubis, which is the area at the top, at the base of the shaft. the skin just gets tighter, and it makes it look bigger. His thighs get a little bit more defined, so it just looks bigger, but it's not getting any bigger. No, I will say this: the erections can become harder with exercise. So when you
Really?
lose body fat, you increase blood flow to the penis, but it's just like the penis is just another set of muscles. The more that you exercise it, so like with gelking or like massaging, that actually increases blood flow by turning over the penile cells more effectively. So like some of my male clients that have suffer from erectile dysfunction, I tell them that masturbation is actually beneficial, like not just like to like get it out, but like actually the stroking and turning the cells over and increasing blood flow first thing in the morning is beneficial. Most men have their erections at the end of REM sleep, and so that's why most men are horny in the morning. That is the best time to turn over those cells and to create more oxygenated blood flow in the penis.
Wow. So that was another question, because it said that, the penis, the vagina is a big muscle, right? And so, you've explained for a man that he needs to pull on it, massage it, get the blood flowing through it. Like what should a woman do?
So a woman should I'm not a woman, so I can only go based off what I'm told. And so
You
from
said the bulk of your clients are women, so I just figured y'all had that conversation.
we do have those conversations, and most of the time when I don't know an answer, because my mother usually my mother and my aunts usually have to woman explain the female
Okay.
experience to me, and then I couple it with my science background to understand it. You figure the vagina is just like the penis; it needs to be stimulated. You have to turn those cells over. The more that you massage it and the more that you take care of it, drinking lots of water, eating fruits and vegetables, the macronutrients that you put into your body is going to improve the vaginal health. And that in and of itself, your nutrition is going, first of all, the vagina is self-cleaning, so it doesn't need much self-care. But the manual manipulation is going to be beneficial for the health, because you work it like you do any other muscles, doing pelvic floor exercises, by squeezing and holding, pulling everything in, activating your psoas, activating your belly button, your adductors, which are your inner thighs, which connect to the pelvic floor. Stretching those muscles out help with maintaining good pelvic floor strength. So as I've been told, a good pelvic floor can pull a condom off.
Damn, that's what I'm talking about. You said activate your belly button. How the hell you do that?
So we call these diaphragmatic compressions, which essentially you pull your belly button in towards your spine and then you pull it up. And what that does is that creates that vacuum suction that helps to tighten that thing up.
I love it. How about eating clean and all of that, plant-based diet? What does that, how does that benefit the body? And hell, does it help our lady parts and man parts?
It does, because you figure like the whole idea of organic living is a fallacy. There's so much pollution in our world that it gets into the fruits and vegetables, and the feed that goes to the animals that we consume. So there's no such thing as organic at this point. The last time it was organic was when God created Adam and Eve in the garden. Everything after that is no longer organic. The idea is to eat as clean as possible, getting the micronutrients, the macronutrients that your body needs. A plant-based diet is going to be beneficial to you simply because plants don't have the same amount of hormones, and they can filter themselves out more readily than animal-based proteins. So nowadays with nutrition, within the food industry, they're pumping these meats full of hormones, whether it's in the feed, in the genetically modified feed that we feed to chickens, pigs, and cows, or whether it's the the pollution, the water rain drain off that gets into the grazing lands, that, gets into the livestock that we consume. So the idea is that there's so much toxicity in meat proteins that we should start transitioning to a more plant-based diet. You figure for a long time, just looking at the evolution of the human physiology, we just thrived off of plant-based proteins, fruits and vegetables. And studies have shown that when we return to a fruits and vegetable based diet, there's higher levels of cognition, muscle growth, muscle density, living longer, longevity increases from having a diet that has less toxicity in it. And, I've stopped, occasionally I eat meat, but like we really just eat a lot of seafood and we eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. And I don't have any issues.
Wow, nice.
So,
I have no issues. I hear that. Listen, there's this documentary on Netflix called Seaspiracy that I have got to watch. And they say after you see it, like Russell Simmons was like, he's like this health yogi guru, fitness wellness person, right? And he was like, I'm almost inclined to tell y'all to go on and eat meat, like go on and eat animal product and not what's in the sea after you see this. So, and then I had a close girlfriend. She had posted, she was like, I got to give up the crabs, mailing crabs is a big thing. And she was like, I got to give it up, maybe after June 1st. June 1st, because of what is going on, all the pollution and toxins. And I mean, damn, we ain't safe nowhere.
We live in a wicked world, so you just have to pick and choose your poison. Essentially, so either you're going to pick your poison from land-based livestock, or either you're going to get it from sea-based livestock. So it's all the same. It's just that you have to pick which poison you want to, which one is better for you. Me, I like fish, so I'm gonna pick fish. I
like fish.
I saw the documentary. I'm still gonna eat fish and crab.
Did you see it?
Sure did.
Wow.
Was
it, do you think it was pretty accurate? I gotta go watch it.
It's not, I don't think that anything that they said was untrue. We live in a wicked world. People do really horrible things for control and for power and for money. So, I don't think that anything that they talked about was untrue. But I think they also, with documentaries, how some people can be, them lifers, they'd be like, oh my gosh, it's so bad. I think they grandiose a lot of things as well, and make it look worse to pulling your heartstrings, to insinuate more than what's actual reality.
One thing that struck me about you, and I watched several of your lives, that I was like, damn, he keeps it all the way real, is that you said you see these people on Instagram and, all these social media platforms, and they're so fit and snatched and this, that, and the other. You don't really know the backstory. Like they could be a fitness person and I have to work out all day long. You don't just get like that. It could be genetics. It was so many things. And I was like, yeah, I can relate to it.
Well, I think it's the dishonesty for me and the misinformation. And so John and I talk about this all the time. She's a great coach. She has a lot of wisdom. And so we always feed off each other. And so we were actually talking with our friend Josh. We were talking about how there's so many fitness personalities out here that look the part and they say, oh, it's so easy to get fit. Do my 90-day program and you'll lose the weight. But the problem is with these 90-day programs are that they're in a caloric deficit and that you're not giving your body what it needs for its long-term sustainable wellness, and that you're killing yourself essentially. And so, what we typically ask people is to do your research and to educate yourself. We have a very intersectional experience. So intersectional experience, meaning that your home life, your work life, your intimate circle, the connections that you have to your children, your partners, your dog, whatever it is, all these things affect how you respond to fitness and exercise. And so everybody's experience is different. So I tell people, find someone that has a similar lived experience that can coach you through the difficult times that you're going through, because can't nobody tell me nothing if they haven't lived through what I've lived through.
Yeah.
So that, that's the biggest thing for me. And then so when I'm like super snatched, people can't believe that I used to be like 250 pounds. Like if you scroll down through my page, there's a video of me being like super heavy. I had a back injury. I was on steroids. I got like super heavy, and it was mostly like in my belly and in my face and in my butt. But when I lost the weight, people were like, you don't even look like that. Like you look completely different. I'm like, you never know what people have gone through to get to where they're currently at. And so, I tell people, when I am super snatched, I'm literally working out like 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot to maintain, a body like that. For me, I do it because I enjoy the power that it provides me. It's a pretty privilege. It's a fit privilege. It's a sexy privilege. That power, I like it.
Yeah.
It opens doors for me. It gets me the things that I want. So, you have to use your powers for good and evil. You got to make a choice. But I typically use my powers for good, for the most part. But, be careful who you follow.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely can see that. I definitely think that there is value in knowing that whoever you follow, that they, like you said, have lived a similar lifestyle, or, really can give you all the details that you would need to keep you informative. Like, it's so many, I hear of so many things of, take this and you'll be this in 30 days. And I just know that I don't want that. In full transparency, this is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. And I do not like it because I feel it in my joints. I feel it in my knees. I really have really bad knees. But I know that one thing that you said is, if you don't move, you're going to die. And I don't want to die because I got too much life to live. Mm-hmm. So get up. I'm going to be committed. I hope the damn shameless will be committed. And I really don't want to have any, weight loss surgeries, because I'm like, I haven't done my part consistently. Mm-hmm. And until I do it consistently on my own, then I think that I can take that extreme measure and say, okay, I tried, I can't do it on my own. I need this tool, this
Don't get that surgery. You're gonna be looking like Star Jones with that big old head. No.
Ain't nobody trying to look like a bobblehead.
No, that is not cute. You very.
And I know,
I know that sexy that you got. So I don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not. And then plus I'm like, well, shit, it ain't gonna help me with my knees. Getting up and moving will help me with my knees.
My mother would say that if you get the weight loss surgery, it's gonna make your coochie dry.
Oh hell no, she don't need that. She's sitting on a gold mine.
So just do the exercise. But the biggest thing is finding something that you enjoy. Like that's the most important aspect. Sorry about that. That's the most important aspect of your wellness, is doing something that you like to do. And so often we don't, we do things that other people tell us to do, or our friends are doing it. But really, you have to figure out what works best for your body, and what you're passionate about. That's what keeps you in it. I realized that it's not many people that can coach me. So I typically work out by myself. But when I need to be pushed and I need to be edified, I find community. So, find a movement platform that you like, and then find a community, because the community holds you accountable to your wellness. So even when you don't feel like it, you got a friend that'll be like, yo, where you at? That will push you to on the days that you don't feel like going. And like the young lady left in the comments, she said, well, I'll give myself one day, and then it turns into 2 days, and it turns into 3 days. Find an accountability partner that's going to challenge you to stick to your goals, because sometimes we don't have the internal motivation to push us past where we're currently at. We have to get someone that gives us that nudge.
Yeah. And you know, I pay people to come to my house and say, come on, let's go. Let's
money
do
is
this.
a good motivator. Money makes you accountable, because you think about it, I'm spending hundreds and thousands of dollars a year to look a certain kind of way. First of all, you better make sure that it worked. Number two, I don't want this money to be, I don't like throwing away money. That's why I don't go to strip clubs, because I don't like throwing away money. And I'm not going to throw my money away on a trainer. I throw my money away on food, and that's it. That's the only thing I'm throwing my money away on.
Yeah.
And it's not really thrown away, because it's going in my belly.
Well, thank you so much. I have a game for us. I hope you're down for it. I hope you have your cocktail ready. I call this game the Damn Shame Sing the Next Line. Okay. So I am going to say the lyrics and you will sing the next line. If you don't get it right, you have to drink a drink.
Okay.
Take a sip.
Okay.
Here's the first one. I love you. You love me.
We're a great big family.
I love it. I'll take it. I think we happy, not big.
Oh.
We're a happy family. Barney would be like, oh, hell no. Here we go. Billie Jean is not my lover.
She's just a girl. And I am the one. All right, I'll take a drink.
Yes, take a drink, because Michael Jackson is like, oh, hell no. Who don't know about Billie Jean? Oh, my goodness. All right, here's a more contemporary one.
Okay.
My body is a drug and he needs it.
What song is that? I'm gonna just drink on that. I don't know what song that is.
She said, my body a drug and he need it. He begging me for the treatment.
Megan.
Let me roll Megan, man.
Okay.
Here's another one. And I am telling you, I am not going. You are the best man.
No way.
Coach Jonathan, no, we are best friends as friends can be.
Oh my goodness. No, that's not right.
Isn't it?
And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I've ever known, and there's no way I can ever let go.
I just jumped a little ahead in the song.
Okay, here's one. It's a little old school.
Okay.
Outstanding. Girl, you knocked me out. Excited.
Girl, you knocked me out. I am so bad at this game.
Excited. You make me want to shout. Damn Shame is getting those comments. Help him out, please. Drop fire emojis if you like the Damn Shame. Sing the next line. Here's another one.
Okay.
To the left. Everything you own is in a box to the left. Now, I'll be goddamn. Now that's
and you know what? You know what's bad is I make playlists for a living, so like I should really know these songs. But
you should really. And I've seen your workout videos, and you've had some of these songs in your video. To the left, everything you own in a box to the left. In my closet, that's my stuff. If I brought it, please.
See, this is why I'm writing a book about being trashy. I'm trash.
Listen, The beehive is coming for you, okay?
I know.
Just beware. All right.
Oh, Coach Jonna is showing him up. She said, "Oh my God, you have to get this one." She said, "In the closet, that's my stuff. If I bought it, baby, please don't touch."
Yes,
Jonna, you're
Jonna.
supposed to be on my side. You're supposed to be on my side. You could be texting me with the lyrics to, like, that's what a good friend does.
Cheaters never win, winners never cheat. Okay, so here we go. Here's one. You got to get this one. Get low, get low, get low, get low. To the window, to the wall.
To the sweat drop down my balls. All these people cross. All these people.
Yeah, I know you know that one. Your nasty ass.
Listen, that is surprisingly, that is like my client's favorite turn up song in class. Like they want all that ratchet stuff.
Yes.
Let
me put on some ratchetness and I'm going all in. All right. Here is another one. Is it worth it? Let me work it.
Put my thing down, flip it in reverse.
Oh, yes, Missy. Yes, that's right. That's right. All right, here's a new one. Every word that I am saying is coming straight from my heart. So if you're trying to lay in these arms, oh, Bruno Mars will be so disappointed.
Is that the new song?
Yes. Every word is coming straight from my heart. So if you're trying to lay in these arms, I'ma leave the door open.
I'm trash. It's okay.
Trash. Okay. Here's the final one. Damn shamers, if y'all liking this, drop fire emojis, please. Thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. The final song of the first time Damn Shame sang the next line. This song is "You a fine motherfucker, won't you back that ass up?"
I know this one. Call me Big Daddy, won't you back that ass up?
Yes, call me Big Daddy, won't you back that ass up? I enjoyed that. I hope you did also. Oh my goodness. So look, every week we like to spotlight Black-owned businesses, okay? So tell us a little bit more about your business and how people can find you.
Yeah, so I am a strength and conditioning coach as well as a life coach, but more so, my practice is about spiritual wellness, helping people connect with their inner self and connect with God, and really have a holistic approach to like their psychodynamic wellness. So I host classes, virtual classes, Tuesday, Thursdays. On Zoom, you can hop into a class. I also am a coach in Philadelphia, so I have live classes Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. So you are more than welcome to come and join our community. The biggest thing is we are a like-minded, diverse community that really seeks to empower and edify each other. So like that's the biggest thing that I think is the draw to my business is community. But you can find me online at swts.fit. That is my website, or you can find me on Instagram at Stephen Westbrook III. Instagram is probably the fastest way to connect with me. I am like getting better with like checking all of them, but yeah, you can sign up on my website, swts.fit, or just message me at Stephen Westbrook III on Instagram.
Yes, thank you so much, y'all. Hit him up. He is a wealth of knowledge, as you've seen tonight. And listen, as always, we give the Damn Shame Award of the week. And let me give you the honors of saying who would get the Damn Shame Award of the week.
That Black Republican senator from South Carolina.
Yeah. And for me, I would give the Damn Shame Award of the week to the one who won't commit to getting up and doing that 30 minutes a day. Come on, y'all. Let's get this 150 hours in. Watch your girl. She gonna get snatched. All this is gonna go. You know, I might have to get a little facelift to do this. And, you know, this is sit up and, you know, that'll go in and everything is going. I'll be like, ow, back that ass up.
I know that's right. Yes.
Yes, but I am committed, and I hope, Dame Shamus, you're committed with me as well. So listen, I say it every week. If you can't be good, you gotta be great. There are no excuses. Otherwise, it's a damn shame. So y'all, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up if you like what you heard tonight. Drop a comment, share the live. I will see y'all Friday next Friday, right? We got another exciting show lined up for you, but until then, I'll see y'all later. Ow. Hey, it's a damn shame podcast.